Welcome to the Wispy Mott Music Acoustic Radio Podcast Series. I'm your host, Todd, middle initial C. Walker. Yes, that's right, it is me. And this is another of the sad podcasts. Unfortunately, I've had to report on two musical friends of mine and good friends outside of music who have passed away in the past year. And unfortunately, another one has as well. And I've been putting this one off just because I just wasn't ready to talk about it. David Mott, referred mostly by our music friends as just Dave, was born on September 1st in 1948 in Fall River, Massachusetts. I was born in Hyannis, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. Fall River is about a 45-minute drive from Hyannis. And for those of you who don't know New England geography, Fall River is approximately halfway between New Bedford, Massachusetts, which was one of the whaling capitals of New England, and Providence, Rhode Island. Dave used to kid me and say, "You and I, Todd, we know Lizzie Borden." And for those of you who know your history and know about Lizzie Borden, I'm not going to bore you with the story. You already know it. But it was a tragic event, and she, I guess, got away with it, however she did it. But Dave was a graduate of the open mic circuit. He had gotten back into playing guitar and got back into golf, which was his other love after raising a family and doing business-related things for many, many years. Just to give you a little bit of a background on Dave. As I mentioned, he grew up in Fall River, Massachusetts until he was about the age of 15 or 16 when his dad retired from the Navy, and they moved to Laurel, Maryland. That's where he went to high school and played sports. I think it was football and basketball, or maybe it was baseball. But anyway, he was an avid sportsman. He was drafted in 1969 into the U.S. Army and went to Vietnam. And in July 1969, he was wounded and ended up recuperating at Walter Reed Army Hospital here in the Maryland, D.C. area, and then completed his Army service in Fort Knox, Kentucky. He was married, had a family, and as he said, he was a self-professed jack of all trades, master of none. However, he was a business owner, a mortgage loan officer, a home builder, a flooring contractor, and a home energy audit consultant specialist in his lifetime, and kind of in that order. And as his kids grew and kind of got their wings and flew the coop, he got back into playing guitar, which was one of his loves, and also playing golf. Loved to go to Myrtle Beach with his buddies and play golf. He also was a connoisseur of beer. As his son Brian said during his memorial service, one of the last things that he was able to do for his dad was sneak a beer into the hospital. And he couldn't drink it necessarily, but they could put like on the tip of a straw, you know how you put a little bit of liquid in there and put your finger on it. He was able to put it in his dad's mouth so he could taste a beer. And Brian asked him, "How was it, Dad?" And Dave said, "Yum, yum." And that was one of the last things, evidently, in his life. But he was surrounded by family and a few close friends. One of the things that people mentioned about Dave is that he never met a stranger. He was a very friendly guy, always willing to get into a conversation. But going back to his musical life, he got into going to open mics. He started to write songs. He had a nice Taylor guitar that he played. And his brother had been a rock and roll guitarist, his brother Bill, who is one of the only people I've met who had had a heart transplant at some point in time. And unfortunately, Bill, who was Dave's younger brother, had passed away a couple years before Dave this past 2022. But Bill was in rock and roll, played electric guitar, so Dave played electric guitar and acoustic guitar, but he wanted to perform and sing, so he started going to the open mic circuit. And like most of us when we're starting out, we're kind of, I wouldn't say rusty, but we have to grow in our performing art, let's put it that way. And after doing open mics for a couple of years and seeing him on a regular basis, we invited him because he had written some songs. When I say we, Rod DC, Ron Goad, Tommy 1M Wright, and myself, who were the hosts of the Monday Night Songwriter Showcase series at Brewers Alley, which is now defunct, unfortunately, kind of met its demise as we grew older and the pandemic hit. We voted one time, not that there was any kind of monetary award or physical award, but we voted Dave as the most improved songwriter of that particular year. And I think it was 2014. Might have been 2013. I don't quite remember. But anyway, one of his lifelong dreams was to produce a CD or album, as we old guys say, which he did do. All original songs. He produced it in 2016. And he recorded it at the Shabro Recording Studio with engineer Doug Smith. It was co-produced by Doug Smith and Dave's longtime guitar instructor, Maurice Arenas, who's a professional guitarist, session guitarist, and instructor. It was engineered by Doug Smith at Shabro Recording Studio, as I mentioned. And I'd like to play those songs for you. This was something that was dear to Dave's heart, and many of his close friends have a copy of this CD. Its title is Riverside. And the first cut on the CD is Crossroad of Love. Let's see if I can play it for you.
I'm heading down the highway, trying to catch the setting sun. When I pulled up to the crossroads, realized how far I'd come. Sat there with my foot on the brake, watched that stop sign staring back. Direction sign, which way to go, don't let me turn back. Love just takes me down the same damn road. Same old scenery on this trip to hell and back. Brimstones and firestones are even getting cold. Been there so many times, I don't need a map. Minute I sat there thinking, am I doing right by leaving town? The car behind me blew his horn, guess it's time to move on. Reached up, turned my rear view down, ain't looking back on travel ground. When one journey ends, one begins, heading for the new horizon. Love just takes me down the same damn road. Same old scenery on this trip to hell and back. The brimstones and firestones are even getting cold. Been there so many times, I don't need a map. Your love just takes me down the same damn road. Same old scenery on this trip to hell and back. The brimstones and firestones are even getting cold. Been there so many times, I don't need a map. Been there so many times, I don't need a map.
On the CD or on the album, whichever you want to refer to, is his brother Bill Mott on electric guitar, as well as a friend, Jack McGee, who played electric and later on slide guitar on a few of the cuts. Ron Goad played percussion on that cut and does throughout the entire album. And let's see, someone else in there. Oh, Rick Norris plays bass guitar. This next song title is 1968, which is a year near and dear to my heart. That was the year I graduated from high school, and I was up for the draft as well, but I went to college. I was, got that deferment. Dave, unfortunately, did not. And one of the words in that first song, Crossroad of Love, is damn. And my parents did not swear. And my mom, sometimes when she would get really angry, she would just start to say the word and just could not do it. And I had difficulty with it since I didn't grow up with swears, as we used to call them. But one thing Dave said to me when he first got cancer, and he got it, about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, and then it seemed to beat it, and then it came back with a vengeance, unfortunately, and what did him in. But I remember him saying, Todd, that damn Agent Orange, which was used quite a bit in Vietnam to defoliate the trees so that the U.S. forces could find the enemy, the Viet Cong. But anyway, this next track is titled 1968.
The postman delivered an old letter just yesterday. It was in a plastic bag and not in very good shape. The postmark was faded. It looked like 1968. The handwriting was faded too. It was yours. There's no mistake. The years have come and gone, and I never knew what went on. When you left the dance that night with someone from your hometown. When the news got back to me and I asked what went on, you said you couldn't date someone whose friend followed you around. Opened up your letter, couldn't believe what I read. You said I'm sorry for what I did and the things that I said. The things didn't go that far, and I don't want you to hate. I just want you back again. I'm sorry for my mistake. Down your letter, wiped a teardrop from my eye. I've often wondered about that night and what you saw in that guy. It was no deal breaker, I could forgive you one little sin. But when I didn't hear from you, I thought you'd rather be with him. Opened up your letter, couldn't believe what I read. You said I'm sorry for what I did and the things that I said. The things didn't go that far, and I don't want you to hate. I just want you back again. I'm sorry for my mistake. I just want you back again. I'm sorry for my mistake.
Providing background vocals on some of the songs were Lori Arenas, the wife of Maurice Arenas, who co-produced the CD, and also Melissa Hausvitek. I'm not sure which of the two sang on that song, and one or the other, or both will be coming up later on. And because every boy loves his mama, here's Dave's Mama's Song.
Mama took me on my first trip, the one that brought me here to work. Then she laid me across her chest. She made sure that I caught my first breath. Mama taught me right from wrong. She didn't have to preach to me for long. She didn't spare the rod when I got wild. Guess I kind of turned out all right. Mamas want us to do our best, to be a cut above the rest. No one can say she didn't teach us well. We don't always understand a mother's love and all the things they do for us. But looking back now, it's easy to see her values are what I carry with me. Mamas want us to do our best, to be a cut above the rest. No one could say she didn't teach us well. Then one day, Mama made her last trip. She went to be with Daddy and all the rest. She lit so many candles in that old church. Her highway to heaven was very well lit. Mamas want us to do our best, to be a cut above the rest. No one could say she didn't teach us well. Mamas want us to do our best, to be a cut above the rest. No one could say she didn't teach us well.
We love our mamas, we guys. We do. Think of all those football games, and the winner is being interviewed, and the first thing they say is, "Hi, Mom." And right after that, they say, "I'm going to go to Disney World," which I'm not sure they still do anymore, but they did. I'm not sure on that particular song, Mama's Song, who played mandolin, but I'm guessing it would be Jack McGee since he's listed as electric and slide guitar. Bill Mott was pretty much just a guitar player. It could be Maurice Arenas, who plays many different instruments, but it's not listed, so we have to assume it might be Jack McGee. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Dave loved beer. So this is his Ode to Beer.
I like them long necks, baby. You know, the ones that are long and brown. I like them long necks, baby. You know, the ones that are long and brown. And when my lips are on the bottle, labels pointing towards the ground. Bring me another long neck. I want to feel something new. I said now, bring another long neck. I want to feel something new. You know my baby done left me. You're all I got to hold on to. Bring me another long neck, one that'll make me forget about you. I said now, bring another long neck, one that'll make me forget about you. And when I'm finished with you, baby, off to recycling you will go. My pockets are getting empty, and I still got you on my mind. I said my pockets are getting empty, and I still got you on my mind. My head will be hurting in the morning, but I'll have one more for the road. My head will be hurting in the morning, but I'll have one more for the road.
Ron Goad on bongos and Fred Humbert and Bill Hall on harmonica. Long Neck Baby. Next up is Cut 5, Not Enough Always.
As I drove into town late last night, I wondered if I'd run into you this time. Like the other times that I've come back home, I can't take the chance to call you on the phone. All my friends say that you're doing fine. They don't know we were lovers even to this time. So I'll make the rounds to the places you used to go. praying for the chance that you might show. The sun's not bright enough to fade away. The wind's not strong enough to blow away. It can't rain hard enough to wash away all the love that's still in my heart today. All the love that's still in my heart today. Time wasn't right when we first fell in love. We both had others we couldn't let go. Now I'm free and I'm looking for a second chance to trade all my yesterdays for tomorrows. The sun's not bright enough to fade away. The wind's not strong enough to blow away. It can't rain hard enough to wash away all the love that's still in my heart today. All the love that's still in my heart today. When I drove out of town, I took that scenic route. You know, the one that goes by memory lane. Left a red rose where we shared our first kiss. Tied a yellow ribbon where we said goodbye. The sun's not bright enough to fade away. The wind's not strong enough to blow away. It can't rain hard enough to wash away all the love that's still in my heart today. All the love that's still in my heart today.
Next up is Blue Moon Blues.
Hey now mama, pull your shades down low. Hey now mama, pull your shades down low. 'Cause I saw two shadows dancing on your wall. You called me up, said you were out with the girls. You called me up, said you were out with the girls. But when I drove past your place, someone else brought you home. I went to sleep last night, I had them blue moon blues. I went to sleep last night, I had them blue moon blues. And when I woke up this morning, I knew what I had to do. some nerve to let that guy bring you home. You had some nerve to let that guy bring you home. Now your pretty white dress is laying on the floor. I told my mama exactly what I saw. I told my mama exactly what I saw. She said, now son, you're a woman. She don't love you anymore. I went to sleep last night. I had the blue moon blues. I went to sleep last night. I had the blue moon blues. And when I woke up this morning, I knew what I had to do. Yes, when I woke up this morning, I knew what I had to do. 'Cause when I woke up this morning, I had them blue moon blues. Oh, yeah.
A little Satchmo and that song. And I love a blues song, or any song really, that makes my toe tap without me even realizing it. And that is one of those songs. Well, next up is a song that is titled Addicted to Love.
When I woke up this morning, you were the first thing on my mind. I went to work, couldn't concentrate. I just wasted all my time. So I went to see my doctor. She couldn't find the thing to kick. The prescription she wrote, it said, red roses will do the trick. 'Cause I'm addicted to your love all day long. Yes, I'm addicted to your love till you come home. Like that dusty old bottle just sitting on the shelf, tempting me to come over and just help myself. Well, there's nothing in that bottle gonna do me any good. The cure for what's ailing me is just a shot of your love. Cause I'm addicted to your love all day long. Yes, I'm addicted to your love, right or wrong. And I'm addicted to your love till you come home. Now I'm addicted to your love all night long.
Dave, when he walked around, and especially when he performed, many times wore a fedora in the cowboy style. Not a true dressy fedora, but like I said, more cowboy style. And also a black leather vest. And he was known for that attire. When he performed, looked really stunning on stage. And as you can tell, a lot of his songs have underlying meanings of love and just all kinds of emotion and looking back over time. This next song is the title track off of the CD. It is titled Riverside.
I went down to the river to do some fishing by myself. I went down to the river to do some thinking for myself. 'Cause I've got a funny feeling my baby's seeing someone else. When I looked across that water, saw her with another man. By the way that they were acting, I could tell they were more than friends. And when she looked across and saw me, she knew my suspicions were confirmed. Looks like me and a new man, like that same fishing hole. Yeah, looks like me and a new man, like that same fishing hole. No sense in crossing lines now, I'll find me a new fishing hole. So I just reeled my line in, walked on back to my truck. I'm gonna head on down that highway, 'cause I've just seen enough. I'll pull out my Rand McNally, find me a new fishing hole. Some fishing by myself. I went down to the river to do some thinking for myself. And while I sat there deep in thought, it was only you that I caught. Yeah, while I sat there deep in thought, it was only you that I caught.
Jack Mickey on slide guitar for that song Riverside, the title cut off the CD. And next up is a song that occasionally people would snicker at when they heard what the song was about. But for those of you who are not from the Mid-Maryland area, specifically in the greater Frederick, Middletown, Brunswick area, do yourselves a favor and Google The Legend of the Snallygaster.
sky. And what did I see? One big eye staring down at me, with claws of steel and a long sharp beak. I ran under a big oak tree. Well, he ain't been seen since 1909, but it's just my luck that it's me that he'd find. Well, I heard the stories of what he eats, usually young children and barnyard meat. Scotland has the Loch Ness Monster, and the Northwest has Bigfoot encounters. Frederick has Snallygaster monsters. You better avoid a fatal encounter. Creature of legend or myth, you know, the kind that we can't prove exists. But around South Mountain they've been missing children, and Burkittsville even a Blair Witch is missing. Scotland has the Loch Ness Monster, and Northwest has Bigfoot encounters. Frederick has Snallygaster monsters. You better avoid a fatal encounter. Scotland has the Loch Ness Monster, and the Northwest has Bigfoot encounters. Frederick has Snallygaster monsters. You don't want to be the one he comes after.
It's been a little over 3 months since Dave passed, December the 2nd, 2022. And I think his last song, cut number 10 on the CD, is apropos for the time of year and also for, well, gosh, for his passing, I guess. And I had a discussion with my wife earlier today about how I can't seem to wrap my head around the fact that I can hear Dave. I can remember the sound of his voice and the way he looked when you spoke to him and when he spoke to you. That the fact that he's actually not here anymore, and I'll never have another conversation. So it's very difficult, and I think many of us probably have the same problem when someone we know or someone we love passes on. So let's finish up this podcast with the final cut of the CD on Dave Mott's Riverside 2016 CD, Winter Song.
Most of the winter's snow has melted and soaked deep into the ground. The holidays have been long gone. Only your memory lingers on. No call or Christmas card from you again. Guess I'll hold on to yours for another year. Your last card said to a special friend. Did someone get one that said you loved him? Your love is like a dormant sea, lying beneath the melting snow. Will this be the spring that our love grows? Or will your heart still stay cold? Said you couldn't say your last goodbye. You asked, would it ever be too late for us? But the snows have returned here again, and the winters are getting longer as I age. Your love is like a dormant seed lying beneath the melting snow. Will this be the spring that our love grows? Or will your heart still stay cold? My friends tell me that I'm being a fool for waiting on you all this time. You're still looking for what you really want, and I'm here waiting, hoping I'm the one. Love is like a dormant seed lying beneath the melting snow. Will this be the spring that our love grows? Or will your heart still stay cold? Or will your heart just say no?
Rest in peace, Dave.